Hey, welcome back for another episode of Water. It's gonna be a whole bunch of fun, especially depending on what route our survivors take for this session. Before we dive into everything, I'm gonna let everybody introduce themselves and their characters, and yeah, then we'll get going. So, starting with top left, Alex, tell us a little bit about Susie and yourself.
Hello, I am Alex. I am a digital artist. You can find me around at Can Chaos Art on Twitter and Twitch and such. I play Susie, who is 15, has a knife, and is terrified of Wilfred.
That's sounds about right. All right, next we've got Zan. Tell us a little bit about yourself and TC.
Yeah, so I'm Zan. I'm a content creator and professional DM for 5e, World of Darkness, Powered by the Apocalypse, and a whole bunch of other great systems. Apparently, my computer is going through, or I'm going through digital puberty tonight, so if there's any voice changes that happen, any cracks or sudden dips, you know, I'll do what I can. Can't promise not to know. I hope it's normal now, but Econorlax is laughing a lot, so I don't think it is.
No, it's normal now.
Okay. Great. We'll see how long that lasts. Yeah, and I'm playing TC, or Titan Creek, as the government might have labeled him at some points. He is a nice boy who wants everyone to get along and wants everyone to survive. And there may have been some eco-terrorism in his past. There was a lot of eco-terrorism. And we're hoping to make bombs soon. So, hey, you know, getting back to the roots.
Awesome. Definitely also go check out Leopold the Just on Twitter. Leland plays Lyle Henderson, which is a fantastic character. And he should be joining us back at some point this season, but he's just had a lot going on Tuesday nights that came up after everything started. So, he hasn't always been able to join us, but definitely go check out his Twitter. He's a really cool guy. And then Attack Trick, or Pat, should be joining us here momentarily and plays Owen, so we'll come back to his intro when he gets here. So we'll hop on over to Econorlax. Tell us a little bit about Allison and yourself.
Okay, so yeah, I'm Econorlax, and I play TTRPGs with whoever of the wonderful people of Twitch will have me. And in between games, if my executive dysfunction and social anxiety let me, I stream some computer games on my own channel, so I can at least talk at people, if not with people. And today I'll be playing Allison. She is a, quote, Bosco certified childcare specialist with the diploma, quote. And she's awesome. 24, young and very frightened of this scary alien planet. And also, but she went through the critical point, and she now less scared and more now focused on fixing the team dynamics, because this group is cracking very hard.
Just a little bit, a little tiny bit. All right, and then I guess not technically. I was about to say last but not least, but I guess not technically last, but next. Jay, tell us a little bit about Tamsin and yourself.
No, it's gonna be last. Sorry, I ate Pat. He got in the way.
Okay. Tamsin finally killed Owen, huh?
Yeah, you know, it had to come at some point. Hello, everyone. I'm Jay, or Alien Jays. I'm a writer, role player, and game dev. You can find me on Twitter or itch.io at Alien Jays. I just found out I can change that name finally. So it's all Alien Jays all the way down. I'm playing Tamsin tonight, and Tamsin just got back from a really horrifying situation of surviving a flood and also lamprey eels in the cryopods section, and now kind of has to deal with a new person that was saved because of her escape. She ended up making that happen, and also dealing with the whole crew cracking business. The bridge is the savior at this point because it keeps everybody calm. So yeah, I'm excited to unveil the things she's thinking of plan-wise tonight.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and talk a little bit about me and sponsors. So I'm Raven. There we go. And I'm just gonna quickly fix that. There we go. So I'm Raven. I'm the creative director for the Raven Evermore, which is my brand for all the various things I do, most of which are tabletop, involving tabletop. And you can find my link tree in chat. That has links to my website with my portfolio and all that good stuff. And then yeah, I play the new NPC in the game that wasn't supposed to have really NPCs, thanks to Tamsin last session, now has one. So I'm playing Luna Pendergast, who is a pilot, vehicle designer, and theoretical engineer. And she's really interesting because her father is Irish, and her mother is from Newfoundland. So yeah, she's got a bit of an accent that I'm gonna probably butcher during the whole episode, so I apologize in advance. Aside from that, sponsors are here in chat as well. Fundamental RPG, which is the system this game runs on, and Intrepid, which is adventuring gear for real life, so outdoor, athletic, and casual wear with a tabletop theme to them. You can find both of those things at coffee.com/raven/shop. So just like it says in the bottom left-hand corner, just add /shop to the end. Currently, Fundamental RPG 2nd Edition, again, the system that this and Animus both run on, is available for $18.99 for the PDF, and that comes with a form-fillable PDF character sheet and a printable character sheet as well as the book itself. That's at coffee.com/raven/shop. And then hopefully, because I think we're on the 3rd or 4th submission to Amazon to get this thing into print. They keep finding tiny little things wrong with the PDF, and then we fix it and they tell us like the same thing's wrong. It's weird. Anyways, it's under review with Amazon, so hopefully in the next day or two that'll be available for print as well, so you can get a physical copy of that. So that's coming. And that's pretty much it for me and sponsors. So Pat, tell us a little bit about Owen and yourself.
Hey, I'm Pat. I use he, him pronouns. I go by Attactric on Twitter, on Twitch, on Places Online. I play TTRPGs and video games and all that kinds of stuff. And I am playing Owen here. Owen was the cruise chef, is now the resident part robot person, and translator of rocks and runner into of Yeti people and comer up of bad plans.
I forget falling down or upstairs.
Oh yes, I have a mortal enemy in stairs, which, yeah.
Oh, that's great. All right. Well, I think that handles all the introductions. So, when we left off last session, I do believe you were pretty much all on the bridge, except for Susie, who was hanging out, I think, just outside the bridge.
I believe that's right, yeah.
Yeah, and Luna had kind of gotten a very quick
We gave her
summary
the
of what's
Coles
happened.
notes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should really just write a book.
That's a good idea. I mean,
Hmm.
we have time.
I think we were planning a dinner, at which point
Yes.
I don't know that it has to be done on screen, but Owen was planning on divulging literally every detail he could think of so people could stop accusing him of withholding information.
Yeah. And yeah, you're right. Luna did get her first experience with the bridge. The second one's free too. It's literally right there. Love that. And rather enjoyed it, and is I'm sure already trying to figure out how she can make a still in this village. So yeah, we can fast forward to dinner.
Christ, what random bullshit do we have on hand?
Y'all have been going through your food stores pretty quickly without really
Oh, yeah.
replenishing them.
You know, we have been doing that. That is true. I think I've still got. I'll check my personal inventory. Do we have any food in the group inventory?
I believe we still had some small fish, unless we ate those. Oh, also, we haven't eaten from the last session, Raven.
Yeah. In game, I don't think the day has progressed yet.
Okay.
I was gonna say we didn't. We hadn't eaten any of the food that was down in the
In the cave.
in the cave.
Yeah, because it's.
Okay.
I'm looking. My personal inventory is out of food, and that's because we threw that all together during the hurricane.
Right.
That was
I don't know
our
if the-
hodgepodge of food.
Yeah, I don't know if your shared inventory sheet is up to date, but you got a ton of fish in there and a ton of fruit.
The as last I had checked, at least the group inventory was correct, but
Okay. Because this says you've got about 36 edible fish and 16 other fish, and a bunch of fruit as well. So
what?
I'll probably stick to the edible fish and the fruit.
Yeah.
We'll save the
good.
we'll save the
call.
question mark fish for when times get tough, or when TC has some nature MacGyver use for them.
Yeah.
Am I just not seeing these 36 other? Because all I see is the times 10 other fish on group inventory.
I'm looking at the shared inventory character sheet,
Oh, okay. I was using the
which may
handout.
not be up to date.
That's probably why.
I'm
Yeah,
just
the
doing
handout,
what
I
anyone
believe.
tells me.
I think the handout is accurate, at least as of the 16th, but who knows?
Okay. Yeah, I see.
That,
here.
that's
Yeah,
less.
there's a ton
That
of
handout
fish.
is less great for
Yeah,
us.
it's about a month ago. So.
This looks right because I was like, "That's a whole. Where did you put all those fish?"
Right. You don't want to know. We don't ask those questions on the island.
Okay. Yeah, this looks right. So yeah, you might need to go find some food, which is relatively easy here, but yeah.
Now I forget. Were the bird eels other fish in terms of quality, or were they decent?
I think they're decent.
Okay.
Generally, anything that lives on land that eats other things is going to be safe, aside from like hallucinogenic grasshoppers.
Do we want to have a couple people gather some fruit and stuff nearby, and then maybe a couple of us take the stasis rifles and go Elmer Fudd after some of those flying fish?
I'd say the best. We could also go check the patch, the alien patch of vegetables.
Yeah,
Susie found.
and I still want to kind of map the island out and stuff, so that would be useful for like patches of food and stuff. I can mark it on the map.
Oh yeah, and you are right, Alex. You do still have whatever you grabbed out of that garden. That is back at the cave. Which
I
think
can't
would be-
remember how much that was, but it was like some tubers and I can't remember what the other thing was.
Yeah, it was a bunch of root vegetables, and I think some fruit.
Yeah.
I'm muted. I want to say it was melons.
Yeah, I think it was. Which does require eating more of to get to your full food numbers there, but there was
I'm
plenty
sure
of
Owen
it.
can use it in cooking to make something better.
Yeah.
Just pound it down into a nice, delicious gruel. And we should all be fine.
Yeah. I'm just pulling up my. I forgot to pull up my extra data for water, so I can see how much those give you in terms of food. So it's loading up now. But yeah, I want to see you had like 6 of each. I think that you'd grabbed and stuffed into a bag.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Food and water. Boy, this spreadsheet has taken its sweet time to load. Okay, yeah, root vegetables is 4, and fruit is 2. So you could say each one of those melons is worth 2 fruit. Because they're decent sized.
How many melons and tubers did we have? Just so I can write it down.
6.
Yeah, 6 of each.
Okay.
So basically the equivalent of 12 fruit. And 6 root vegetables. So, grand total, that is plus 44 food total.
And we need
Divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Chris,
You
I
need.
guess she's the only one.
So yeah, that would end up with, if you split it evenly, about 7.3 food per person.
we need how many per person again?
12.
12.
Criminate.
So it's oh god, how many of us are there now? 7.
6. I
I'm
think.
not including Lyle because Lyle's
Okay.
got plot armor and plot food. But I am including Luna.
I was gonna say, is Luna hungry already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all over here like starving, emaciated, and
Yeah.
Lyle is just over there with quackers eating bananas.
Yeah. Quackers
It's
keeps
'cause
coming
Quackers
back with
keeps-
random bags of chips.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quackers keeps teleporting somewhere and just brings back energy bars. Lyle's like, all right, I guess I'll eat this.
Yeah, this seems
So-
safe.
She said we had like 44-ish food units total.
Yeah.
And we need 72 to feed everybody fully. Okay.
Yeah. And unless, you get a super high cooking roll, and maybe you could find ways to stretch that.
Mhm. I'm very good at the arts. It's what we've learned.
This guy over here at an opera house. It's absolutely crazy. So artful.
He's opening up galleries over here.
Yes, it was all just knife work. There was never any actual food involved. It was just a show.
Would you like to try cooking and then see if you need to go get more food after that?
Sure. Yeah, I assume there's some sort of like simmer or crock pot function on these fancy alien stoves where it'll still
I mean, it's basically a flat top, but yeah, you can turn the heat on real low.
Sure.
There's probably like Dutch ovens that you could put on there and it would work like a crock pot.
Yeah, let's do that.
Of course, they're not
I mean,
Dutch in this case.
If we need a Dutch oven, then that requires us having a bed first, and I don't think we ever got those mattresses.
No, Zan, not that kind of Dutch oven.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Is it a Dutch oven is actually a cooking vessel that you can either use on your top of your oven.
I know, yeah. I was making a goof.
There are. I have met people who have no idea that it's an actual real thing.
It's true, yeah.
It is a cast iron cookware, and being someone from the South, I know and respect my cast iron cookware.
It's not.
Hell
It's
yeah.
not nearly as common up here.
Oh,
yeah.
Casserole dishes are, especially
Yeah, way more.
ones that are like clay.
Ceramic, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, ours, we had
Yeah.
a stainless steel Dutch oven, so.
cast iron all day. If I can't beat my husband to death with it, I don't want it.
What do you think I am, rich?
Up until very.
Well, no,
I
was
go
gonna
to the
say,
fancy place that has all the cast iron, and I wish I could afford it.
Basically. Anyway.
Anyways, yeah. I was gonna say I've had both, just raw cast iron and cast iron coated in ceramic, and they're all just amazing.
Mhm.
So after you all lament the fact that you don't have a fancy Dutch oven on this island, Owen starts cooking, and what does Owen get?
Oh, I did not roll because I was hoping that would distract me. I have 8 points of skill that we can add to that. So
Wait,
Yes, so you got 20.
That gets
Is
you to
this
20.
It's not as bad as it could have been.
Roll it. Do we have a D6?
What was that, Zan?
I thought you had advantage on your next cooking roll, or did we use that last session?
I thought we used that in the hurricane.
Oh, okay.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, we're getting a raid.
Whey!
The alert might get really loud here for a second.
Mhm.
Thanks so much. Campfire quest for that raid with 8 people. Welcome
Hey.
in. We're kind of just getting into the things. We're playing Water, which is a Subnautica-inspired, sort of styled survival game, and our crew's currently on an island trying to figure out the food situation. But welcome in. How was your stream? So yeah, with a 20, it doesn't really stretch the food any further, but it means nobody's getting sick off of it.
You're all welcome.
I just picture him saying that as he's like dishing food out, like, "You're welcome."
I could totally see Owen doing that. So, how much food do you need then? It was, what did I say, 44?
Yeah.
Was what
Yeah,
you
we need
have.
about 30.
28 more food units. That's what we need.
Okay, so you need 28 more food. Hey, thanks so much, Michael, for that $8 donation. Giving advantage. Anyone's specific? I'm assuming this should go to Owen for cooking.
Why would
but if
we
you have
just
some-
assume Owen needs help on rolls? Why? Isn't
Oh,
all those
we
nat
have our
ones?
reasons.
Isn't all those nat ones I keep coming up with?
Roll20 hates you with this game for some reason. So yep, that's going to Pat. There you go. You've got an advantage up there now, your little coffee cup. All right, so you need 28 more food. So if you go back and get more root vegetables, you would just need 7 more, which there was definitely plenty at that garden. If that's what you want to do, that's an option.
Great.
Or you could go down and get 14 more of those the fruit off the fruit trees down by the pond, which should be there as well.
What does Owen want?
I mean, above the table, Owen wants to practice with his stasis rifle some more, so he's looking to go hunt some of those flying fish. But if someone else takes care of this work for him, he won't just wander off to do that.
Well, Susie was gonna okay, you want to shoot things. Well, why don't you come with me to the potatoes and you can shoot things on the way?
I mean, moving things though, right? I don't want to just shoot potatoes. That's not.
Yeah, of course, moving things. Why would you shoot potatoes?
Just making sure.
Well, this way we're still doing the buddy system, right? I'll come with you after we go and get the potatoes, and then I'll make sure that you have a buddy while you're hunting birds.
Birdfish.
Whatever.
Actually, so in the spirit of sharing the knowledge, so technically are they bird or are they the fish?
Yes.
I haven't seen. No, damn.
They look like eels with wings. I think they tasted chicken-ish,
Yeah, they did.
but also tasted like they should have tartar sauce with them, so it's a bit of a wash.
So you can't have tartar sauce with chicken?
I mean,
You can, but
like
you don't
it.
feel compelled to do it, if that makes sense. I don't write the rules for poultry and fish.
You can see on Alison's face she knows she lost this battle.
I think Luna probably chimes up there and is like, I'm sorry, did you say that there are eels with wings?
Yes.
Right. I'm gonna go sit on the bridge some more. Just let me know when dinner's ready, and after a good night's sleep and some food, I'll help you next time. I'm just gonna go process some things.
I've got to say, I feel like the teleporting here was more impressive than flying eels, but that seemed to elicit a bigger reaction from her. Am I judging things poorly, folks?
No, I think
No.
yeah.
I think teleporter's weirder than flying eels. I mean, it's a water planet. Of course, everything's going to be aquatic based.
Keep in mind, we've also seen some pretty strange stuff.
So, Tamzin, would you keep your eye on her? I would like
Yeah.
to go help carry stuff.
Yeah, no problem. You can see Tamsin's eyes almost light up at the mention of you sitting on the bridge again. she definitely isn't against going and sitting on it.
Yeah, and Alison
Fair.
is not very subtle about let's let this very tired old person let's rest and moderate.
Just let Grandma have a nap. I love it.
Oh god.
Yeah, Tamsin will go fall off your Luna.
Okay, cool. Yeah, she's just walked straight over there and is sitting sort of cross-legged, just leaning against one of the supports, just chilling, and clearly, like, you could see just everything slowly sinking in.
Yeah.
Also, thanks so much, Michael, for the 200 bits. Would you like to do a d6 to me so I can terrorize the players, or would you like to give it to the cast?
You didn't hear this from me, but give it to Raven.
All right.
Yeah, Tamsin will sit down with her. We can do that after the group gets food.
Okay. Since Raven asked nicely, all right, thank you. I mean, let's be honest. These are probably going to end up being used by Luna anyway, so it'll still help you all out. All right, so we've got Allison, Susie, and Owen going on food duty, right?
Yep.
And then just so we don't forget anybody, what's TC doing?
Yeah, I think TC is just kind of like looking and watching and seeing everybody like effectively communicate and go about in their own, like, decide on a plan, and it seems to be happening, and TC's just like, you know that scene from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs where the police officer kind of yells at his Tia, "Get back in there, Tia." I think TC's having a bit of a moment of pride because everybody seems to be acting like adults.
Give it
And
5 minutes.
yeah, and because of that whole give it 5 minutes, he's gonna pipe up and go, Owen, Susie, y'all need a hand with the carrying stuff. I'd hate for us to have to make two trips.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's go. Let's all go.
All right.
I mean, all 4 of us.
Okay. Oh, and also,
Oh,
Lyle.
actually, Susie makes a thought. She grabs the structure builder
Okay.
because she got the scan of the outdoor grow beds. If she can use the structure builder to deconstruct them, she can move them back to the village.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
what about...
potentially.
the ones we empty, okay.
Yeah.
That
That's
was
a
just
really
I
about
was
to
thinking the
ask what
same
about
thing. I can
plants.
relax. Yeah.
All right. Okay, yeah. Lyle and Quackers, the Bosco brand emotional support duck, for those who are new to the show, they are on transporter duty, so they're back in the cave just making sure nobody comes into the transporter that's not supposed to. So that's where they are. So Susie, TC, Owen, and Allison, you're heading out towards the jungle. So I'm assuming you go the most direct route, which is going through the village, along that road that starts to get sort of less and less visible as the overgrowth and things sort of overtake it in the jungle. It is. Go ahead.
Before we get into the thick of it, I just wanted to clarify with Owen, but you won't shoot the humanoid-like aliens, okay?
I mean, maybe. I'm not promising anything.
Because
They have got some aggressive tongues that I do not want anywhere near me.
What do you mean aggressive tongues?
we are assuming they're friendly, or at least you won't start it first, right?
I mean, you're free to assume that. I will
It
have
showed
this
me
with
to the food and didn't attack me.
That one sounds friendly.
Okay,
Can you readily identify that specific one again?
if I see it, I won't be able to know until I see a second one to tell if there's marking differences.
Okay. Well, all I'm saying is this rifle doesn't hurt either.
Can-
It's a
can-
stun rifle. But if one of these
Yes.
things jumps at me, I'm gonna shoot.
Yes, but
I apologize, Allison. I am not going to promise you that if a Yeti thing jumps at me, that I will just let it tear me apart instead of
No.
engaging in
Of
violence.
course, if they jump at you, it's already an aggressive mood. I just
hey,
wanted to
I'm the
don't start.
person with experience with animals here. Can you both trust me to know when to tell you that something is acting aggressively?
I do.
Owen doesn't say anything.
Susie's staring at Owen.
Owen's seen the shit you keep as pets, so he's not saying yes to
It's
that.
like, I've always told you when something to back off when something's acting aggressively.
Like I said, give it 5 minutes.
I think between Susie's experience seeing these and her experience on the island and my life experience as well, I think between the two of us, we can probably decide if something's going to be aggressive or not. I'm not exactly a schmuck when it comes to kind of reading the room when it comes to critters, so to speak.
Speaking of that experience, TC, you probably noticed that you are, as the saying goes, burning daylight. Since it is dinner time, you are going to start running out of sunlight pretty rapidly. Still decently lit, well enough right now that you can follow the trail and be perfectly fine. But you do know that you are on a clock here.
Okay. And is there how many stasis rifles are there?
I think there's 2.
I've had one on me the whole time. I don't know what happened to.
We didn't save them.
Yeah, exactly.
We didn't
there were
get
4
them out.
total at one point. Owen grabbed one and held on to it.
Oh,
This
I
is
thought
the-
they were in the. I thought they were
No.
in the small sub.
No, they
Nope,
were the main
They were in the big, yeah.
Oh, then yeah, that's the only one you got.
All right.
Oh yeah. Right. You brought all of them out of the small sub, specifically.
Yeah, because Owen got suspicious and freaked out at finding them.
Yes, Owen got suspicious when you showed back up with new weapons.
Yep. All right. Well, as you're heading down this little trail, you can hear the jungle sounds getting louder and transitioning from daytime jungle sounds to nighttime jungle sounds, which are a little more ominous, though not necessarily more dangerous. They just sound less friendly. There's really no movement or activity. You don't notice any of the oh shoot, what were they called? I forgot to write down their name. Anybody remember what I called the aliens?
Oh, we had many names for them, but
Hold
I
on.
don't think anything was scientific.
Hold on. I took notes, but it was in Owen's voice, so I don't know that I actually wrote what they're called.
I thought for sure I wrote that down, and apparently I did not.
I know the original Empire was the Rylands. I don't think I wrote down any other names.
Yeah, Rylands, that's what I was looking for. So you don't see any of them. You don't see any of them moving around. And you're able to follow the trail that Susie went on before and make it to another building. Outside the building, there's... I don't think I ever decided how many gardens there were. You kind of had to run away quickly before we investigated that, so I'm just going to roll a die here. There are 3 gardens total. So each one holds... let's say that you pretty much cleared out the first one. So the other 2 hold... I need my calculator for this. One is full of those tubers. And it can hold about 6 total groupings, which have, let's say, 4 tubers in them. So 24 of those, we'll just call them potatoes. They're not actually potatoes, but that's the closest thing. So you can get 24 of those. And then there are 6 melons, which again is worth about 12 normal-sized fruits.
Okay, and so what do I got to roll to see if she can deconstruct it?
Normally you would just be able to do so, but these are made out of the material that the houses and everything are made out of. So I need a tech engineering roll to see if you can make this thing adapt.
I have 4 dots in tech engineering. Does anybody here have better tech engineering that might want to help?
Looks like TC does. Allison does too.
Apparently, I'm pretty good at it. I don't know why.
I have 4.
Probably just followed along from Boris and Tamsin.
Got a 9 in tech engineering.
Susie's definitely looking like she's looking a bit really hesitant about this. Like she's not sure if she's going to be able to. Finally, she looks through. It's like, is anybody here better with computers than I am? Please.
I'd be happy to help.
Well, happy and efficient, I guess, are 2 different outcomes.
This is also standard Bosco equipment. This mobile fabricator you have. So let me take a look at it.
Let me see how bad this nat 1 is first.
At least it wasn't Pat.
Oh, it's bad.
In the meantime, I don't know if this has any. I don't know if this has any effect, but I've definitely been eating the dirt and trying to figure out its nutritional components.
You've been eating dirt?
Yeah, just like, tasting a little bit of it to see if it tastes the same as the soil outside of the grow pots does.
Oh, okay.
I'm not just like piking it. There's a purpose behind it.
You're just like, popping it in like sunflower seeds or something. Okay. Yeah, the soil tastes different in the grow beds than it does, or the gardens than it does outside. More, I don't know, stuff that makes plants grow better.
Fertilizer?
More nitrates in the soil?
Yeah. More of that, yeah.
Oop.
Not necessarily fertilizer, but just you can tell it has more plant nutrients.
Electrolytes.
Not a bot.
It's got what plants craves. It's a Oh, I can't remember the name of the soda from Idiocracy. That's
Rano.
Yes.
God. No. No. Anyways, so with the nat 1, I rolled a d20 to see how bad it would be. So for any that don't know, when I GM, if somebody gets a nat 1, I roll a d20. If it's closer to a 1, it's really bad. If it's closer to a 20, it's not so bad on a crit fail. They got a 2.
On a scale of Susie falling out of a tree, how bad is this?
Not quite that bad. Mostly because I just don't want to take away your the thing that builds things, because you kind of need that. But I will say that the in trying to make it work, the power cell in it, the battery, somehow you get 2 wires cross the wrong way, and the battery basically explodes in your hand. The unit's fine, but it's going to need a new battery. And that will do some damage. Just see how much that will do.
Now Susie's gonna feel real fucking guilty.
16 damage.
Fuck. Really fucking guilty.
It's fine. It's not like stare bad.
Yeah. Tamsin, could I get a hearing check?
Oh god. Oh no. What are those
We're
idiots up to
actually
now?
communicating.
21.
You hear a small explosion come from the jungle, and a bunch of those eel birds just flock out of the trees.
Oh my god! Oh my head! Oh.
The eel birds.
I think Tamsin's gonna look at Luna, and they're both on the bridge, so
That
Tamsin's
bastard.
reaction is very muted, very like, oh no. And she'll kind of like leisurely pull her tablet out, send off a message, and then if she doesn't get a reply in like a minute, she'll get up and start heading out that way.
Okay. Back at the place. What's going on?
Ow, ow, ow.
Susie is like trying to grab stuff that they can use to possibly like help stop the bleeding of TC's mangled hand.
Alice was a little shaken by the boom, and now she's trying to help TC.
Okay.
You know, I should have expected that. You know, I was I wasn't paying attention. All my fault. Shouldn't have done that. I was thinking this was the old model, and apparently it's the new model. You know, that new technology's got a glitch in it, and it does explode if it's tampered with sometimes. So I think that probably hurt. Can y'all give me like 2 minutes? I'm gonna go walk about 30 feet away and just cover your ears, okay?
Why?
No. We need to wrap it. Damn! I wish I had some EMT kit. She looks at her onesie. This stuff doesn't even tear properly.
Owen, do you have the bobbit worm goo?
Yeah, I've still got some.
We can use that. It makes it numb.
I will 100% take you up on that when I don't have to use my hands. But I'm not in a place right now where I can afford to not use my hands. So tonight, 100%, we're numbing these bad boys.
We need to wrap them for now.
Yeah.
In something. I look at Susie. Do you have something?
Susie pulls out dried grass.
You always count on Susie to have some grass.
Oh, this is gonna. Susie, can I? Ellen, come here. I need you to do this.
Why?
Because call me a little old-fashioned, but I don't necessarily want to make Susie or Allison tie piss-soaked grass bandages around my hands. But I gotta get these wet, and there's no water here.
I don't think I want to do that.
There's a creek right here.
Oh, there is. Oh, well, that's fantastic. Then never mind.
We've got a fucking teleporter.
Yeah,
You can go wherever you want with 2 damn clicks. I kept my mouth shut when we walked here because I'm like, I can't be the only one that remembers that's how this works.
I needed to walk here so I could put it on my map.
I genuinely
You've been here
didn't.
before.
I came
You've been
right
here before.
in the dark.
Okay, you two back on the veggie trip. I'm taking Owen back to the village, and I put my arm TC. I put my arm on TC's shoulder and I press the button.
All right.
Ah,
then
shit.
you are back at the teleporter, and you've got Lyle there going, hey, that looks bad. Are you okay?
No, but we're gonna make it work.
Okay. You want quackers?
No, but a
No.
piece of your shirt would do.
Yeah. Lyle rips off a piece of his shirt for you and hands it to you. All right. Well, they're getting TC taken care of. That leaves Susie and Owen. Would you like to try again? The unit is fine. It just needs a battery, which you could pull out of the scanner or the stasis rifle.
He's like, I think I'm gonna have to ask Tamsin to do this because I kind of like my hands.
Yeah, I'm good not blowing up. I'm fine.
Yeah. Let's just get some. Which ones do you want more of, the melons or the potatoes?
Either. Neither of them. I mean, the potatoes are just kind of soak up flavors, but there's not a whole lot of flavors to give them to soak up. I don't. I'm getting a little bored of both of them, so let's just grab whatever.
All right, Susie grabs about like half of each.
Okay. So that'll leave 3 melons there and 12 potatoes are still there.
I don't suppose there's any of those startled eel birds still in the area, is there?
Nope. It's actually gone very, very quiet around you.
Oh, great. I love that.
Like, not even insects.
Really love that.
Owen, we should probably go.
Yeah.
Also,
like, Susie is like backing up towards Owen, sort of thing. Like, she noticed the dead silence.
Also, not that I'm trying to keep you here at all, but just to let you know, for now or later, there is still a structure there that you haven't explored, which looks like it's kind of like a farmhouse. So like the other domiciles have looked like an alien townhouse. This looks more like your classic, like, just basic farmhouse or a ranch house or something like that.
Okay, so not like a barn though. Not like
No, not a barn.
Okay.
It looks like somebody lived in this.
I was gonna say nothing bad ever happens in a barn.
Susie's kind of like looking at, hey Owen, you want to come back here in the morning and look at this place better?
Yeah, maybe. Is tomorrow? I don't have any sense of time, so I forget if tomorrow's the day TC and I were gonna go underwater adventure at the facility.
It was 2 days from today, I think.
No, 2 days from yesterday.
2 days from yesterday, so tomorrow, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some plans for tomorrow, but maybe afterwards.
Oh yeah, sure.
Literally, like the only event on my calendar ever is tomorrow right now.
That's fine. I'll just get Allison to come with me.
Okay. So, like, we're not gonna walk back, right? We can just
No, I
teleport
only
back.
wanted to walk here to make sure
Okay.
I knew how to get here.
And then why don't we?
And, you know, like, measure out where it is in distance from everything else so I can put it on my map.
Oh, I did. You know, maybe I should have looked more closely at the map when you've been sending it, because I guess I just assumed it was like one of those, not like placemat maps where it was more like landmarks, but not necessarily to scale. Your map is to scale?
Well, I try to make it to scale. I'm doing it by steps.
Okay.
And I'm trying to make sure I do an even step.
But like your steps or like
My
whose
steps.
Okay. Because I was going to say, like, Okay, never mind. That's not. It's not worth getting into everybody in our group's different walking patterns. Okay, yeah. Let's just teleport back. We could teleport. Why don't we? And then instead of walking to another place, let's teleport to where I've found some of these birds before. We had to go. They're usually higher up, I think, because of the sky.
Sure.
All right.
Not sticking around to get murdered. No, thank you.
Yeah, you're able to teleport back. You get the whole, greeting from Lyle and Quackers, and they probably ask about, why TC's hands were hurt and things like that. But some chit chat there, and you're off.
So are we just counting Quackers as Lyle's buddy now for the system?
Effectively,
Kinda.
we don't have enough people to double.
No, I'm like saying that out loud. Just
Yeah.
Oh, in character.
Yeah.
Wait.
We're just counting the duck as a person now.
Well, haven't we always?
But I mean for like keeping people out of trouble.
Haven't we always?
I mean,
Like the duck.
haven't we always?
All right.
Why do you think Lyle's alive still? He's got Quackers.
All right. Okay, shit. I don't think you. Crap. If we go to a place that I know but you don't, are you gonna want to walk back or something for your map?
No, it's too late.
Okay, cool. He'll put a hand on your shoulder and think of a place, and then just press the button.
All right. So where are you going again?
I think wherever I hunted these things last time. I don't think it was a specific location like that. Like it's not like there's not like any asset or anything there we talked about. I just wandered off into the jungle and found some of these at one point.
Yeah.
But I think it was higher up. I feel like there was elevation.
It's actually not that far from the cave. So you're like just outside
I'm
the
not
cave.
walking. I'm not walking.
And a little bit to the side, yeah. You could easily walk there, but you just teleport.
We just hear Lyle talking to Quackers from how close we are.
Yeah. It's like very distant and echoey, like it's come like bouncing off the walls of the cave before it gets to you, but yeah.
Okay.
Somewhere in some time there's an alien that's just judging you for your use of power.
Whatever. They made that freaking home button. They don't get to talk. Yeah, I guess this felt further away before we had the teleporter.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Cool. Good talk.
he didn't have to walk.
Quick question for everybody. Did anyone reply to Tamsin's message?
Nope.
All right.
I think we just went right into squabbling.
If I would have seen it, I would have told Allison to respond. I don't know if I would have seen it, but if I would have been aware of it, I would have 100% told Allison to stop and respond to the message.
That's the question. Have you
That's
seen
the question.
any? I mean,
Do
technically,
either of you have a tablet?
no.
100%.
Did we hear any pinging or chiming?
Before, no, because you
After the
didn't give
explosion.
me. Allison didn't give me any warning. Allison just touched me and went.
You also haven't made tablets or radios for anybody.
Not yet.
I keep forgetting you two don't have tablets.
And the two children just were like, I don't know what to do. I better not think about it. Let's just do our job.
But I would say from the cave we would walk to the village. Me and TC probably.
Okay. So
Isn't
Tamsin
it?
and Luna probably saw TC and Allison, yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
All right. You've all got your food. You're able to put it all together and have enough food. So go ahead and just for ease of use, just give yourself a sea ration and eat it. because that'll fill up your food, and then just take out whatever ingredients you use to make all that. And then, of course, you've got access to clean running water, or quote-unquote running water. So, yeah, go ahead and drink water until you've got 12 points. Which has been really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Then when everybody's good to go, I'll go ahead and move the system to the next day, but you can keep going for the evening if there's something that you want to do before
I mean,
bed.
we should probably get this medicine roll done before evening.
Should do a lot of
Uh,
stuff still today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we're going to the fucking thing tomorrow too. We gotta prepare for that. Yeah, I think yeah,
For TC, was that more than half of your hit points?
no, it was not. I
Okay,
I
then-
took 19 and I am at 26.
Okay, then you'll heal back up to full after a full night's rest.
Okay. Yeah, I am going to, if we can get everyone together at some point tonight, I am going to try to organize a checklist of the things of what we're looking for and what we're bringing with us to the thing tomorrow, to our journey tomorrow. Even if it's just me and Owen going, I want us to fucking have a list.
I mean, we're all together for sure, because to get food, Owen sits everyone down and, like I said, tells them literally every fucking thing he could think of since we got on this planet, so that no one could say I didn't tell him anything anymore.
Awesome.
Susie does her best to explain from her point of view what happened of seeing Owen suddenly disappear and having a wall close off, and then their entire conversation with the philosopher, and how even her and Boris were disagreeing on how things should go is necessarily complete, like with the little them building the underground hidden one, them trying to figure out if they could trust Owen or not, because they really wanted to, but they're not sure how the nanobot things worked, and basically all that hidden stuff, she just like puts it out on the table.
All right. Luna is obviously not absorbing all of this at once, but she just sort of, kind of keeps nodding like she understands.
I have just one question. So, from the words of this philosopher and what you have observed, would you say this other fraction, this group of prisoners, is dangerous and aggressive? I know they didn't really harm you, Owen, because they want to use you, kind of. But would you classify them as hostile?
I'd say they're desperate.
That seems fair. To be fair, I'm probably less useful to them now if I get the gist of things. But yeah, I mean, there's at least, because again, this is all the shit that I read about in the blocks that we found too. So yeah, it definitely sounds like they've got some shitty people in there, but they've also been, they've also lived through I don't know how many life sentences on this planet. So I don't know about judging. I don't know if that makes sense. I imagine there's shitty, dangerous people in there. I don't know how much judgment I'm going to pass on people that have been locked up for that long, for not knowing why they were locked up to begin with.
Luna, this is what we're doing tomorrow. This decision was made before you showed up. You have no obligation to come. You and Quackers and Lyle, I guess, can stay back if y'all want. We can't make this decision for you, but this is what we're going to do tomorrow. So it's you can't really make an informed decision, unfortunately. But tomorrow's going to be risky, and if you want to come, you're welcome to it, but I don't blame you if you don't.
Luna's still doing the nodding, like, and just, eyes glazed over and sort of like, what the hell's happening kind of look on her face.
Susie's just like, there's a whole thing underneath the island? Why didn't nobody tell me this?
Oh, wait. What do you mean? I
Wait,
asked
that's
it
what-
prior.
Well,
The entrance part or the cave part? The building part.
sorry, my brain just like crapped out for a second. I'm sorry.
It's totally fine.
I'm having really bad brain fog today, and I
No worries.
It happens.
ignored.
Are we around the fire pit? Just so I know.
I assume
Or
so.
okay, just checking.
Like in around one of the cooking and eating
Mhm.
areas in one of the houses. Yeah.
It was during the storm that we found out there was stuff below the island, and we didn't want to. Well, there wasn't really time.
Yeah, I just said we were on an artificial island and that's all.
Luna kind of speaks up at that point, and goes, "That's something I could probably take a look at and see if we can do something with it. I think that'd be a better use of my time than going on some expedition to an alien, whatever it was you said it was."
It's a fair call.
Underwater facility.
Do you want to
sure
go,
that.
Susie?
Got it. So by the time we get back, you'll have figured out how to pilot the island then?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't go looking for miracles, but I'll do it my best I can. And you can tell she's just like wide-eyed and like staring off at the distance whenever she stops talking. Like, what the hell have I gotten myself into?
It's your first day of work. Can you figure out how all the machinery in the building works and then run it? Cool.
Yeah, do some maintenance and diagnostics.
Yeah.
Owen, TC,
Your lunch is in 3 hours.
I can come with you. Help make sure that you're both safe.
That's what you want to do. I'm happy to have you.
I mean, I look at Tamsin. Do you want to go?
Tamsin just kind of like looks down at her legs, which she's gotten like a longer pair of pants on after the whole debacle, but she just looks down at her legs, rubs them idly, and doesn't meet Allison's eyes.
Oh,
But definitely says like, "No, I'm okay, thanks." Though.
All right, I forgot. I
Depends
don't
on-
know if I should stay or if I will be more use if I go with you.
If you choose to stay, what's the plan for the home party?
I mean, I was with Tamsin on the boat trip. I kind of looked at the steering, but Luna is a pilot, so probably she knows all this stuff already, so she can go on to check the underwater things by herself too.
Well, she's not
So-
going by herself. I'll be going with her. I have some understanding of how these things kind of work.
So technically, I think I am of no use here. I should go with you.
It wouldn't hurt just in
think-
case someone does get hurt.
I would appreciate the pair of eyes.
But we really need to do something about these communication issues. And I don't mean communication between people, I just mean the devices.
Yeah.
The text thing is clearly don't work, and we don't even have one for each. And I think this is crucial in the situations like that. Everybody gets their own communication device. We need to really pull the metals and scrap we have together and push something out of Fabricator that will work before we go anywhere.
We probably could make something from all the jetsam that came up on the shore.
That's what
oh.
I was thinking.
Tamsin, Susie pulls out the well, it's got some scorch marks on the handle, and slides it across the table towards Tamsin. Can you fix this?
She doesn't look at anyone, but she just picks it up and does a little like.
Oh, you see, now I think about it, and what I was told at the training, I think the anti-tampering measures had to do something with your exploits.
Well, that's I gotta be honest with you, Allison. That is some of the best news that I've heard in a while. That is absolutely flattering. And good to know that maybe Bosco isn't quite as stupid as they seem.
But you know, I look at your hand, it's kind of being, I mean, it's tough, it's hard to be happy about it now, I think.
I think I'll be okay. I didn't really need that fingernail.
I'm she's speechless at that.
It sucks. It absolutely sucks. I am in a fair amount of pain, and I would like some of that numbing agent before I retire tonight. But it is what it is. It's the situation at hand. That was a fucking joke.
Tamsin
Alright.
kind of smirks like under her breath, just like she got it a little before you said it, and she's just like, oh.
Okay. Flew over my head.
I wasn't sure if you meant it that way.
100% I did.
Oh, that's great.
It's great.
Tamsin kind of, if she's close enough to TC, she'll just like rest a hand over his good hand, and just kind of give him a like small nod. And then she's gonna look over at Luna, and kind of she'll have a look of like, I don't know if this is gonna work, but hear me out. Luna,
Okay.
do you? Okay, this is a long stretch of thoughts, but the point is, if you can pilot this thing, do you think you could get us back to where the rest of the group found you in the cryo pod section?
Well, we're assuming that that this thing is even pilotable. So ignoring that if, and assuming that it is, well, the long and short of it is, I really have no clue. I mostly pilot very small, very fast vehicles. Never driven an island. Can't say that I know anyone who has. So yeah, I really don't know.
Presume that you can drive it. How do you think that we could get that cryopod section onto the island? Because I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm not willing to leave them here when we eventually get off this planet. And
Oh, yeah, no.
it's a really big piece of the ship, which could save us time in building whatever rocket or otherwise we need to get off the world.
So you're wanting to use the island as sort of a tugboat kind of a situation.
Sort of. Probably more like a dry dock. If we
Right.
can get it all on the island.
This is all speculating, but I would gather that any sort of engine that would be needed to pilot or drive something like an island probably wouldn't have a whole lot of extra power to pull other things. But what little I remember of the cryopod section, if we were to build some of those underwater mech suits, or even maybe a couple of the larger subs, and get some cabling or something like that, we could probably haul it.
What if we used something like ballast as well? Like inflatable ballast? Something to reduce the overall weight of it.
Sure, that could work as well.
And she's looking at everyone around, like where they're sitting, as she's saying this, like trying to gauge what everyone else's thoughts are on it. Because it's kind of the first time they've talked about it.
If we're trying to get, I 100% agree that there are a few people on the ship that I would prefer to let wake up before we left, to allow them to make a decision. People who are in a little bit similar of a situation to me. I would not feel comfortable with kind of giving them a death sentence if they didn't need it. So there's a few cryopods that I'd like to ask some questions before we left. But as far as getting stuff up, I know a little bit about hydraulics. I could probably help a little bit, you know.
It's all well later in the plan because we need to figure out how to make the island move first. But
I agree that we can't leave people here when y'all leave.
Susie doesn't really have anything to add. She's just like finally happy that the adults are making the decision on this instead of asking her to make the decision on it.
Tamsin kind of nods at Susie, like if she's returning that look. Owen, right. Allison. I know, Allison, you're really new, but Owen, you've been here quite a while.
Yeah. What? I feel like I might have missed it. What
Did you fall asleep?
No, I'm not sure what I'm being asked, I think.
What are your thoughts on the cryopods?
Oh, well, I mean, like I've been pretty clear. I guess I just assumed my thoughts were clear. I'd like as many people as want to leave. But okay. Like TC said, not everybody will want to leave.
No, of course, but if we're leaving them in the hands of aliens that also want them dead or want to use them for their own gains, I don't know that it's much better.
Oh, I thought you were asking me about how to do it.
No.
Engineering side, because really, I've been trained with how to use some of the equipment and not to build it or modify it and stuff like that. But if you are asking about the people, then clearly I mean, we can't leave anybody. I mean, of course, I look at TC. Anybody who wants to leave.
And on that topic, I hate to break it to everyone, but I'm an astrophysicist. Once we're in the sky, I can maybe help us get where we need to go. But we all need to pool in on this, even if none of us have training in building rockets or launching them or anything like that.
I mean,
Luna looks over at Tamsin at that point. She's like, well, I mean, hello.
Right, but one person does not a rocket make. You're a good start, but you're not going to be the only one working on this.
I mean, fabricator can sort of simulate if the equipment, if any design you introduce to it is workable, if the math checks out, so to speak.
Right. Yeah, most of the works in designing the thing, the fabricators, since we have them, will do most of the work.
Right. I mean,
Also, couldn't we reuse some of the? Oh right, you forgot. I forgot. You told me the fabricator designs or blueprints are gone.
Yeah.
I mean, not all, but many of them.
Much of it's been corrupted. Yeah.
That's a problem.
That's kind of why we need more people on this with hearts and minds, mostly minds.
Right. And why isn't the you mentioned that the alien robot things, they wanted to get off the planet, yes?
Yep, that was the point I was about to make. I think we'll have
Haven't
a
they just
better
done
hand. The point yep, that's what I was going to say is I think we'll have a lot more information on this hopefully tomorrow. That's why I want to go back to this facility, is to figure out what specifically the escape plan is.
Didn't the philosopher explain this to you?
I never met the philosopher.
I mean, asking. Oh, Alex not here.
Oh, sorry.
I was asking Susie, but Alex not here. So I assume I remember that part of her time because, like they are forbidden from leaving it, right? Because of the field, this anti-machinery field.
It's not an anti-machinery. It's the gravity well, right, Tamsin? I mean, I was gonna ask you since you're not coming. The shack near the volcano on the other island. You saw files in there, right?
Yeah, they weren't very clear though. If I remember right, it's some kind of electrical field that acts almost like an EMP. I think. Raven, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but that's what I remember it being.
It's basically like a ring of tiny black hole around the planet that's artificially generated. So it's a gravity well that basically, if you get too close to it, it pulls you down to the planet.
Well, that's terrifying. I don't remember that at all.
It's my understanding, at least, that I guess the kill switch for the gravity well is what the robots can't access. That's what they need us to get.
Right.
Oh.
But so that means
are the same.
But I mean, that's like step one. Step two would still be them leaving, so they've got to have some way to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, in terms of reprogramming our fabricators with some stuff that can produce rockets, waking the people, maybe there are more engineers there, would be our best bet. So our best course of action for leaving this planet would be making a settlement that is capable of holding and feeding all these people once you wake them. Wouldn't be that be the best course of action? Making sure we can wake those people.
I think we need to make sure. I think your other point might need to take a little bit more priority. I think it would be unwise to at least not have some additional accommodations ready before we even try waking them.
Not to be negative, but I'll say every time so far on this planet we thought we've had like the supply and general living shit down tends to be when like the world comes and like knocks everything over and we wind up starting again.
Do you think that's intentional?
Shit, I didn't until you said it like that.
Well, we're talking robots and apparently moving islands.
Well, I was
wouldn't-
thinking more like, I guess we only know one way in which this world is a prison. I don't know if other parts of it are automated to keep shit here or not.
Actually, I haven't thought about it until you said it too, but it would make sense. The robot didn't want you settled in here, they just wanted you moving with their original plan. Kind of.
Yeah. I think that's a option we can't rule out.
I feel like I don't know about that, because I feel like at some point they kind of got tired of waiting on us, and then Wilfred just showed up with a whole bunch of blueprints and supplies to kind of fast forward us to getting what the aliens needed.
Well, that would also explain why they wouldn't want to stay anywhere for very long, because if we get settled in, we can start asking them questions.
Yeah, but I guess, but I think I don't know that they would keep us. I don't know that they would be intentionally keeping us so shitty that we can't get the technology and resources we need to accomplish their goals. I don't know. Maybe this planet is just also a giant fuck you bad luck sphere. And it's
there's one final point that I'll bring up, and it's that you did mention there are multiple factions of the robots. So I don't believe that this would be all of their will, but it might be some of them. But I do, from the depths of my heart, think that there's information to be gleaned about this and where we're visiting tomorrow. And similarly, from the depths of my heart, I would really like some of that numbing agent.
I've got no idea what 3 ounces covers, but I've got 3 ounces that you're welcome to take from.
Great.
It'd probably take about an ounce to treat the wounds that you've got.
I will help with spreading that with some stick.
I was gonna say, like, don't use your hands.
You can just use a rag too if you wanted to.
Just give me a glob.
On that note, this seems like a good spot to take a break. Go ahead and start thinking about like what items or things or whatever you want to do to prep for your trip. And then when we come back from break, we'll cover that and Luna and Tamsin checking out the island, the inner workings of the island. So yeah, we're gonna take a 15-minute break to go stretch our legs, grab snacks, all that good stuff. Recommend doing the same. But yeah, come right back in 15 minutes because we'll be diving into this alien facility and potentially the inner workings of the island. So we'll be right back. Hey, and we're back, and excellent timing on that raid. Thank you so much. Weave the Tail for coming in with a party of 6. Much appreciated. I hope you had a good stream. Welcome in. Right before we went on to the break, you were plotting and planning and possibly scheming your trip into the alien facility, and then Tamsin and Luna were going to check out the island. So, what do you have in mind for the trip to the alien facility? And remind me again who all's going on that.
Susie.
All 4 of
Okay.
people who aren't Tamsin on Luna or Lyle or Buckers.
Okay. Okay. So what's the plan? And what preparations do you want to make before you go there?
Susie is making a lot of rope
Okay.
and making sure she's got her grease markers and a fresh flat of basically fiber that she's got flattened out that she can use for another map, so she can map the facility.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's like papyrus out of local fibers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's also got her knife, and she's gonna tie her knife to a stick and make it a better spear than the fucking original ones.
Okay. Could I get a naturalist roll just to see how secure that knife is?
Thank you for picking that roll.
I figured it might be better than your mechanical engineering.
Can I use my profession tools instrument spearfishing, or crafting with grass?
The crafting one, yeah. That one would
Okay, so
apply,
that'll be
I
a
think.
+3. So +3 to 25, so 28.
28. Yeah. It's pretty secure. You feel like it's gonna stay on there unless you stab something and it gets stuck in, really hard. But it's pretty darn sturdy for a knife on a stick. How about
I had some ideas I wanted to throw at Fabricator's computer, but after a little thinking about it, I have thrown them at Tamsin instead to throw them at computer for me.
all right.
Yeah, I can do
What's-
that before y'all leave if you want.
Oh yeah, that's something we had to have before we leave.
The communicators we were talking about.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Susie's like, hey, Owen, do you remember if there was a lot of... I don't remember there being a lot of lights in there all the time. We may need to bring light.
I feel like it was automated.
Yeah, but it wasn't
Maybe.
until we got really well in there. I mean, if you think you could use the controls...
Sure. I mean, I can definitely use the controls.
Susie's giving you a look like, you are so full of fucking shit.
Or me just confident as hell.
Yep. Okay. What about TC?
I mean, as long as someone has a scanner and we have the communicators, I think. Yeah, I mean, I think TC is not really going there with any expectations, but he is going to grab some things that we could use for first aid and some water,
Okay.
because at some point we're going to get thirsty.
You should still have plenty of bottles left over.
Yeah, just normal survival things, and just like putting the water bottles on strings so everybody can have one, just like not necessarily going in with a purpose, just
Ah,
the
you
base
mean like
things that you need.
the string of 4 water bottles that I've had on Susie that I have not touched yet.
Yep. Yep, that very fresh water.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
probably what TC is going to be up to. Like not anything especially hard, just what you need to do
Yeah.
to go out.
That's totally fine. And then Tamsin, you mentioned you were gonna try to make those communicators. Are we talking like just the radios, or what are we talking?
I think that's the problem. What the fabricator would let us do with what we have.
Gotcha.
We
So
were thinking, the Bluetooth-ish.
Plan A now, I think, is making 3 more tablets and making them function on constantly open voice communication channel.
Gotcha. I think the
Bluetooth
tablets. Yeah, I think the tablets was going to be a computer chip and a glass to build those, and then the radios were just one metal and like a titanium and one copper.
We do have
I had
12
the-
electronic scrap.
Yeah, that electronic trash was supposed to be ingredients for that.
Okay.
So how we use that?
Yeah, you could probably salvage computer chips out of electronic trash and copper, whatever you'd need for that.
Okay, so 6 copper and 6 electronic chips from 12 units seems like fair.
Yeah.
Does that work for you, Irvin?
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Okay.
And
I'll
I
move
think y'all
that.
had a lot of quartz that you were going to be able to turn into glass already.
We have no quartz.
Oh.
Yeah,
Was it copper that you had?
it was
Yeah, I thought
copper.
you had-
Yes.
Okay, so the
We have
radios will
literally
be easy.
0 quartz. Yeah.
Okay, so you'll just have to go hunting for quartz, which is very plentiful in most areas. Definitely plenty in the shallows if you want to have somebody like teleport over there and I don't know, spend a couple hours, we'll say, and you can just come back with whatever you need for the tablets.
When that comes up, realizing that we need quartz for glass, Tamsin will suggest literally anyone else go do it.
It's the question now if Owen is okay with going after we finish this, because it will take few hours to find the quartz.
Mom, you said we were going 2 hours ago.
Okay,
Promise.
question I had actually 2 episodes ago. Can you use the glass from the houses we don't live in?
Might be different types of glass. Yeah.
It's not technically glass.
The other question I have is, do we need to make the tablets right now, or can we just make the communicators?
I think we're being especially assumptive to even think that the radios would work down there.
Well, yes, but better to assume than presume.
Since that was way back in season 1, I will tell you historically they did not work. In there, it worked when you had one of the smaller subs with an antenna.
Right, as
sort
the
of like-
antenna. Yeah.
sort of like a relay. That's when
And
it
now
worked.
we have only one sub, and it will be used by Luna and Tamsin, and we will teleport there if I assume
Yeah.
correctly. So we won't.
You're also
but we. Okay, so
way further
we are
away
good
now.
with radios. Okay, then we are good with radios.
Yeah, and so the radios will
Okay.
work while you're like communicating to each other inside the facility, but you won't be able to reach Tamsin and Luna.
Okay, well let's table the radios for now then.
The tablets.
But the tablets, yes.
Okay,
Okay.
acceptable.
A table radio, though. What a great concept.
Did I say table? I meant shelf. Sorry. Let's shelf
Radio
shelf
still.
the tablets, and then yes.
Okay.
So for the radios, what do you want cost to be?
So it's one titanium and one copper for
One
to
titanium,
make
one
a
copper. Okay.
to make like a walkie-talkie type radio, and it can be whatever configuration you want, like earpiece or handheld or whatever.
I'm thinking earpiece would be best in case hands
Same.
are not exactly usable. We've had
case
that
you,
happen a couple times.
Yeah, I was gonna say in case you blow up a fabricator in your hand.
Yeah, or fall out of a tree, or
Fall down some stairs.
yeah. Just saying that Tamsin is the only person who hasn't fallen off of something.
No, she's just fallen into leeches.
Yeah, totally different.
They really like Tamsin.
Yeah,
They
no,
do.
she's not going back to that place.
You know, she's got the high mercury content.
Not without a hot, like a tough wetsuit.
So,
That is something that you
what-
can make.
It is. Yeah, we could also make
so
bloody air tanks.
It's still cracking me up that this is an underwater survival game and you've made 2 air tanks out of 2 seasons.
And we only have
Sorry,
one.
Ecuador Lex, what were you gonna say?
Go ahead.
no. I will communicate in writing because it's about the inventory.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
If it's about me removing the other bits, I'm just gonna remove those, and we'll have someone look for quartz, and I'll make a note that they've already been
okay.
spent. Yeah.
All right. Well, now that everybody's equipped with at least radios,
Yeah.
Before
any
we
last
leave,
things? Yeah.
yeah, all Owen wanted to do to prepare was try and get as many of from Tamsin, talk about as many file names or keywords that they remember pertaining to the gravity well from fiddling around with the volcano computer, just to in case we get access to something, to have
Right.
maybe some guidance.
Raven, you may have to fill those in for me because I do not remember the file names. But
I don't remember either. It was so long ago.
okay.
I don't need actual names.
But yeah, presuming that
Yeah.
she wrote these things down in her tablet, I think she'd just sync those with you.
Yeah, you have an yes, computer words moment.
Yes. Yeah.
And Owen knows what to look for.
Okay. I think she did to actually take photos and write things down on her tablet of that. So.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then.
Last question.
Yeah.
Do you want me to carry something? Alison asks Owen and Susie.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, I have nothing. I have empty hands. I have no backpack. I mean, do you want me to carry something?
Susie gives you a bag.
Okay, you'll be faster without it. That's good.
Owen feels like he has to give you something now, and gives you his gloves.
No. They are too
He is a
cheap.
free elf.
I just
free
wanted.
elf.
I just wanted to help you with carrying something, so you know.
Owen, since Allison's a nurse, maybe she should have the leech stuff.
Sure. You can have.
Okay,
doesn't
so
like
I
to
put
share
the.
his things. Yeah, you can have. I have 2 ounces of numbing leech mucus. You can have my 2 ounces of numbing leech mucus.
What if we put the leech mucus with the first aid kit and just let
We
Allison
have a
take the whole
first aid
first aid?
kit.
There you go.
Do we have a first aid kit?
That is what I spent the night doing was putting, or the morning doing was
Yeah.
putting together a first aid kit.
With
Oh wow,
we have-
your hand's doing a lot better.
yeah.
How is my
that's-
hand doing, Raven?
It's not 100% healed up, but it doesn't hurt. And it looks like it's been healing for about a week.
All right.
Okay,
That's
if
weird.
I take a look at your hands, I will just say that's weird. So how did you put this first aid kit together?
Just just your standard stuff. A little bit of fish bone with some string, some grass to wipe stuff down with, some mud that I boiled so it should be sterile.
Okay.
Just real basic emergency stuff.
Okay, mud, grass, and a needle from fish bone too. That's okay. That's something.
It's more than we had yesterday. So,
Yep.
It's
She looks. She says she likes it very much, but she looks terrified. And she watches it.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I forgot, and I'll put a small stick in there as well.
Smart. Okay.
Oh,
So
That's
I'm assuming you all
not.
go.
That's not what I was using in training.
So I'm assuming you go to the teleporter and you're gonna try to teleport to the facility, right?
That's my understanding.
Okay.
Should one of us try to do this first, in case there's like an anti-teleportation field around this facility, and we all just wind up
maybe.
drowning in the water?
Yeah. That worked really well
How would-
last time.
Yeah, how about you do it, Lowen?
Just teleport back instantly, please. This time.
Sure. Yep. Let's.
Not gonna say I told you so, but
Nope, we don't go alone. I'll walk up and kind of put my hand on Owen's shoulder.
Teleport
Wait.
instantly back.
Do you have
Eyes and
a,
look Stacy in the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
TC? Do you have a return button this time?
I believe I have a teleporter thing now. Yeah.
Yeah,
We all
everybody should.
Mhm.
So Owen, as you hit the button, it sort of blinks in a combination of lights and tones, which your little robot friends in your head translate for you. Basically, the alien equivalent of, "Are you sure this is a good idea?"
Yes, I am sure this is a good idea.
Okay, then it'll let you. I need a discipline roll since you haven't been there in a while, and this is quite a long distance away.
You know, that's kind of weird that you just said, "I'm sure this is a good idea." And, it feels a little foreboding there, Owen. Did you mean to think that? Because I think you said it out loud.
28.
Okay. Do we want to do 6 on this there, buddy?
Oh, you still have the advantage.
You do, but you rolled a 15, which is pretty good. I would throw a d6 on it.
28.
D6,
Personally.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because remember, I have to do this again to get all of us souls back here.
Yep. Yeah, you nailed it. All right, so that puts that down to 4. Yeah, you nailed it. And you are right next to where you brought the little subs in. So right by that moon pool. There's I think that's right around where Susie licked the wall too.
I mean, that I feel like that's not specific enough.
Is the antenna still there?
Oh yeah, we knocked an antenna off.
Oh yeah. I think that was scraped off like leaving, so it's
we lost
probably,
one.
like-
We lost one coming in and one leaving. I want to say.
Oh god.
Yep.
There's probably some scraps of metal, but the antenna itself, I think, probably is directly below that opening. So you could conceivably swim down there and get it, but
I mean, someone can. I'm not bothering to do that.
yeah. But yeah, you're inside. The air feels a bit stale, and the lights are off except for right around where you are, and you don't really hear anything inside.
Well, see, I thought you that it was not a problem. Intentionally speaking to you.
That's good. Glad. Well, time for us to go back.
Yep, let's do it again. Button.
Yep, it takes you right back to the teleporter.
Did it work?
Oof.
Well, I mean, we're here and we're not wet.
Yeah, they're here
Yes.
and they're alive. It went way better than I imagined it. Possible. I mean, Well, you know what I mean.
Do we?
Because, well,
He's
if you
happy you
teleport...
didn't teleport into a wall, Owen.
Exactly, and into the water deep under where the pressure would crush you and stuff like that.
Yep. Now we have to do it again. Ready to come with?
Yep.
Oh, damn. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
All right. Go ahead and need a discipline check.
Just out of
TC
curiosity. Sorry.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was just curious if the Arch feels responsible to give me a second warning this time. Like if it's every time I try to do this.
No, it doesn't give you a warning this time.
Okay.
Oh no.
Susie and TC can both help on the discipline check since the three of you now have been there before. Yeah, you're good. The four of you teleport to the alien facility, and it's just how you left it. The air smells stale and damp, and a little moon pool is there, just like before. Some bits of metal from the small submarine are on the floor, but aside from that, there's really nothing of interest that you can see, and you don't really hear anything either.
So this is alien architecture. Also has lights that light up when you go by them. They're not as colorful as the ones near the village.
Susie's starting to take pictures and like getting to work on her map.
Okay.
Alison is just touching the walls and looking
Oh,
into
Susie
water.
looks over and is like, "Don't lick it.
Why would I?
The walls do weird shit to your tongue."
Shit. Like what kind of weird?
Like Pop Rocks and soda, but doesn't taste good.
Shit.
TC licks the walls.
Just
Um,
barely.
Because I imagine TC's done this. Have you ever licked a 9-volt battery?
Uh-huh. You
kinda what
gotta check and make sure that wire's live.
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. Your tongue gets kind of tingly. It tastes funky. And there's a residual, like, pop rock type sensation that lasts for a little bit.
That's weird.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Well, so the wall's got electricity running through them, so that's one thing.
Wait, is that what that taste means?
Oh yeah, yep, that is some kind of current. I do not know what kind of current, but that is some kind of current.
It's probably an ocean current.
Wow.
The walls in the houses are made of the same stuff too.
Have you tasted the walls in the houses?
Well, no, I can just tell by eyeballing it. It's the same stuff.
Have you tried tasting the bridge yet, Susie?
I think
I
we
don't-
can successfully table any
I don't
further
think I need
tasting
to.
conversation.
I don't think I need to taste the bridge, where we already know what the bridge does, Owen.
No, I'm
Swear.
saying, like, when I looked at the bridge, there was some sort of something traveling through it. I don't know if it's a normal current or something else.
It's like page 3 electrician's handbook. You know, if you're not sure, just lick it. See if there's a current going through it.
Oh,
Please don't let my father see this. He's an electric motor winder.
don't let my dad see it. He's a communications electronics engineer.
I'll get right on that.
He would fucking kill me if he heard I had a character who just goes around licking electric things.
Hey, they're a fictional character. It's not actually you. It's okay.
So are we Lead the way, I guess.
Yep, and I'll pull out my stasis rifle and get to the head of the group for exploring.
Not a bad
All right.
plan.
Susie will probably follow second, working on the map.
I'm not going last.
Yeah,
I'm safe in
TC is just going to gesture for Allison to go.
All right.
Now-
As
I can't help but notice you're mapping a place that we know changes its layout.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Because once I have a couple of the different layout, I can figure out how it moves and the patterns to it.
that's fair.
It's like a puzzle labyrinth.
Right. I guess I'm just picturing. I feel like you're trying to play a puzzle against a computer, but some sort of like expert level computer that's in charge of like a whole planet full of computers.
That's great. I have something better.
Is it your oil markers?
No, I have a knife.
Okay. But by the way, when you were making this thing, shakes the rifle, does this work on things that aren't organic? Or is it just for show here?
I don't know.
Cool.
Have you even shot it?
Yes. Yes, I have. I'm the only one. Well, actually, no, Owen's shot it now.
Mhm.
Damn it. Doesn't make it as cool anymore.
As
Yeah,
you're-
I used it on the Leviathan. The Kraken Viper.
The Kraken
Kraken.
Viper, yeah. As you're walking and having this conversation, lights are coming on as you go through. And eventually you get back to that big control room, and the lights light up the room, and you can see there's not all, but several of the consoles that were in there are sort of missing. Like screens and components have been removed. Not like ripped out, but like carefully removed.
Someone's moving offices.
Huh.
What, did it not look like this earlier?
No, there was more of these consoles.
Huh.
A lot more.
Well, we're like, are there any places where like something has visibly been removed, like exposed wires or anything?
No, no exposed wires or anything like that. Everything's been like carefully removed and properly.
But there's like no slots, no plugins, no anything.
Yeah. There's definitely like spots where you can tell a console or a monitor or whatever was supposed to go.
Okay.
It's not there anymore.
I'm going to
So
go
it
with
There
was-
probably are
those.
like connectors, but they're properly covered.
So we can see like spots something was in for a few hundreds of years and now it was freshly removed. Kind of
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Not necessarily like yesterday, but relatively recently.
Are there any tracks on the ground? Like in the dust or
Uh,
something? Where we
not
haven't
really.
stepped yet.
Not really. There's not really much in the way of dust.
Oh.
Susie is
Damn the mates.
specifically looking for eyes.
Yeah, you don't see any. You also notably don't hear anything either. I mean, there's a little bit of creaking and things like that you would expect to hear in a deep underwater facility, because there's ocean outside, but that's it.
This is weird. Why would they abandon this place?
Owen's gonna. Owen shit. TC's gonna lick his thumb and touch one of the wire ends. Just real light. Let's see.
There's like a cap on the end of it, but you can easily
Okay.
remove it and do that if you would like still.
Yeah.
Okay. your hand gets pretty tingly. It's enough of a zap to make you, automatically pull your hand back from reflex.
Well, somebody's still paying the rent. The wires are still hot.
Is there any kind of like alien Wi-Fi network that I'm picking up that I could maybe like log into? Do I get some kind of like signal here that I wasn't getting elsewhere?
That's a good question. Let me get a what have I've been using discipline for this stuff, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, let me get a discipline roll from you.
Another 32.
Yeah, so you're looking around and you still have the heads up display because the nano bots and whatnot. But you don't notice like the energy signatures of other robots in here like you did last time.
And those showed up like even behind walls and stuff last time, right? Because I remember
Correct.
seeing there was a lot of them.
Yeah,
if I remember
there's a whole
right.
lot of them.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
so they're either playing hide and seek right now, or they all left. And there was like this place was full before.
I remember when we were running out of here, it was freaky.
You mean like... I don't even know what to ask about. What do you mean by freaky?
I don't know how to say it, but there's nothing quite like glowing eyes in the dark and skittering noises chasing you to be not creepy.
Oh, okay. So movement and eyes. Okay, I can imagine. Yeah, definitely I can imagine.
There's still some terminals here, though, right?
There are indeed.
Yeah.
Would you like to try to turn some on?
Yeah. So I'm just thinking out loud to the group. So do you think this is the stuff they wanted us to find and left behind, or just that they didn't give a shit about?
I guess we won't know till we know what's on it.
Okay, well, let's take a peek.
Okay. There are a number of consoles that look like they're probably touch screens. Scattered around. One of the larger ones is towards the middle of the room. Do you want to do that one or just some other random one?
I mean, I'll probably walk over to the big one.
Gotta
The
figure.
big screen. Yeah.
Okay, it's the most obvious, and you see sort of the heads up display stuff over it, like you can tell where the controls are, and it starts translating things for you. So you're able to turn it on. It powers up just fine, and basically you've got like planetary sensors, sort of a thing. So you can see like satellite pictures of weather formations, things like that. You can see that hurricane where it's moving, the one that just passed you not too long ago. You're not able to like zoom in, but you can see like a view from space, sort of a thing on there, and what else was I gonna have it pull up? Sorry, I had a whole thing in my head, and then brain just went like, nope, empty. And there's internal sensors that you can access to, if you would like.
Internal, as in like this facility?
Yes.
Okay. Before we click on that, the weather observation stuff, or the fact that you can see these big weather events, I'm not seeing anything else in there that would indicate that there's like any level of control over these weather events. Am I?
No,
Okay.
you're literally looking at an automated weather forecaster, essentially.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, you don't see anything that like would suggest that aliens have control over the forces of nature on the planet.
Well, I mean, like, they've got manufactured islands and shit. I wouldn't put that. I don't know.
Is island on this map? I would look for it where I would check the path of the hurricane and in the past. Is there anything that could be resembling an island on this map?
There isn't, oddly enough. If you would like, you could try to use tech engineering to see if you can find out why.
I'm not touching it.
If you ask me to look, I can try and use tech engineering and find out. Do you want me to look?
I have a different question. Do you think it's like past or future? I mean, is it a recording or a forecast?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I think it makes sense the island isn't on here because they found a way to hide the island from these robots. Like, that was the whole point of the island. Do we see the tub anywhere? Or is it too zoomed out to make that out?
Oh yeah, too zoomed out to make out
Okay.
like an escape pod.
Zoom in, enhance.
I zoom in, enhance.
So some random message pops up and it's just like this isn't a TV show. It doesn't exist.
Override.
Yeah, it's just basically it's like the function you're looking for does not exist essentially.
Look, I watched Reboot. I know how this works.
Oh God, Reboot! I loved that cartoon.
A great Canadian classic.
Yep. So yeah, up to you. You can roll if you want. Unless you just did and I missed it.
I did
Okay.
not. Do you guys want me to play around with the pop-up map, or do you want me to dig into this place's bullshit?
Well, we're here to learn. I think we're gonna do
Both?
that either way.
Okay. I will.
All
I
of
will,
the above.
would should I be engineering some tech then for that?
Yes, tech engineering.
This is probably a good time to use that advantage.
If you'd like.
26.
26, not bad. So yeah, you are able to tell that this is a simulation. So it is
Oh.
not actually a satellite up in orbit watching you. It is taking past pictures and using that as a map essentially for the atmospheric sensors that are predicting the storm and things like that. Which confirms that there can't be satellites in the atmosphere or in low orbit because of the gravity well. But at some point, whoever built this took pictures of the planet and put together this simulation. And that's why the island isn't on there. Because whenever those pictures were taken, the island was not in its current location. And I'll also say with digging around like that, you can tell that yeah, there are internal sensors, and you can confirm that it's not like some trap or anything like that. Like if you flip it over to that, it's not gonna cause something else to happen.
It's just what a trap would want us to think.
And you even find like a hidden menu for the walls. So the way the walls were shifting and everything like that, there's controls here for that.
Okay.
And it's actually designed to be sort of like a honeycomb bulkhead type system in case of catastrophic hull failures, essentially. The aliens were just using it to be mysterious and creepy before.
Is there any?
They made a mistake. You don't scare humans.
Yeah. They don't know. They've never met a human before.
I mean, some of us were perfectly calm when we were here, and you might say some other parts of the group maybe overreacted in fleeing from their friend and running away.
These things happen. All right.
Is there any like internal surveillance in terms of like video or anything like that?
Not like cameras, but if you flip it over to the internal sensors, it shows you like sort of a life signs detector. So there's little dots that show up on top of like a blueprint type overlay, and you can see the four of you in the control room. You don't see any other dots anywhere else, at least not initially. But then you do notice one that seems to be like sort of flickering towards the back of the facility. Just the one.
Do we see
not
this, or is this displayed in Owen's internal HUD?
Everybody can see the dots, yeah.
So we can see essentially the map of the facility.
Yeah.
Hey, what about this flickering one? The flickering light.
I mean, that's about as much information as I've got on it too. It is. Yep. Look at it go. It's flickering. All right.
Do
Well,
we
if this is a
even
map of
want
the
to
place,
check
that
it?
might be somebody alive down here.
Right. That's one thing it might be. Am I able to? So I assume that we're looking at it in the present since we're all on there. Are there like past records? I'd really like to see when everybody fucking left this place.
Unfortunately, no. At least not at this console. You don't know if potentially that could be at one of the other ones, but there doesn't seem to be like a security log on this. It's just a current life signs detector.
So yeah, definitely could be somebody alive back there, and we go and find them and get answers is one possibility.
Yeah.
I mean, another possibility is, this
Another
could be a trap.
possibilities are many.
But yeah, it's still
You're
flickering.
the one who wanted to come here to get answers, Owen.
Yeah, okay, fine. Let's go. Let's go to the one dot suspiciously in the back of the place.
How big the place is, considering the distance we've moved from the gate, wet gate, its control room.
Yeah, the facility's quite large. It's like the size of a large office building. I'd say there's lots of different levels. You're on the main level right now.
Okay.
This dot is also on your level.
Oh, so it's not far. Okay.
Yeah, it's not too terribly far. And there's no dots on the other levels either. It's not like you have to be looking at that level to see the dots. It shows you just literally only the one. And as you all start heading that way, we'll hop over to Tamsin and Luna. Sorry.
I was waiting for it.
Can't have you all find out everything all at once. You gotta
Of course
have some
not.
suspense.
How are you going to have us come back every week? I'm teasing, honestly. We come back.
I know.
So they all disappear. They go on their little road trip.
Yeah.
Tamsin looks back at Luna like, okay, so what have you done career-wise? Because I know you said you're you're an engineer of some kind. I can't quite remember exactly what, but what are your skills beyond that?
Luna kind of lists off a couple of ship models that Tamsin might be familiar with,
Okay.
and explains that like she designed like some major component for it, like the engine or the cockpit or something like
Mhm.
that. So she lists off a few things like that, like she's reading off her resume.
Right.
Probably has had to answer that question a lot.
Fair.
And you kind of get that sort of like, oh, this is a rehearsed answer.
Okay.
And yeah, so she lists off all those things, and she's like, yeah, that's pretty much it. Test pilot, tested a lot of different ships and systems, and she lists off a few of those, and essentially explains that she's a theoretical engineer. So like,
Okay.
so she doesn't so much build things as she designs them on paper.
Right. Or simulates them.
Yeah, and then typically someone else will, take that and put it into application.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
But as such, she usually designs things that are just past the edge of where technology is now.
Right. So she's bleeding edge. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to be heading into the center of an island that's floating and under its own power to try and find the control mechanisms of something we can't read for an alien species that we almost know nothing about. Any thoughts on where we should start?
Right. Because none of that sounds impossible. I'd say you've seen the mechanisms and everything already, yes?
On the underside, yeah.
All right. Well, start with what you know, I suppose. So let's get under there and take a look.
Okay, so Tamsin will lead her down to the beach where the sub is. And, we'll do a once over on it and make sure that's still powered and everything. And
Yeah.
because she hasn't actually had a check of it since the storm.
Yeah, everything's working. It's got a bunch of scrapes and dents and things like that from the
Right.
storm, but it's purely cosmetic damage. Luna looks over it as well, and seems to think it's just fine also.
Okay.
And I think Luna just hops into the driver's seat without even really thinking or
That
saying
is
anything.
perfectly fine because Tamsin did not want to drive it.
Yeah. Like once it's in the water.
If she's a theoretical engineer, I'm a theoretical astrophysicist. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't deal with the concretes.
And Luna has also been a test pilot, so
Yeah, exactly.
so any experience that Tamsin has had with these small submarines is very different from the experience that Tamsin has now.
Yeah.
Because Luna just like immediately just dives straight down and
Totally.
full throttle.
It's like getting in with like a professional driver.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, she's driving this thing like a fighter pilot. Doing flips and stuff.
Yeah.
Tamsin might even feel a little queasy.
Oh, she probably does. Remember, I don't have anything in physical fortitude, so
it's not bad enough that you have to roll for anything.
just
but,
letting you know.
yeah.
So yeah, Tamsin will like check her PDA for all the pictures that they took when Allison and her went down, and just kind of like do a tour, I guess, of what she's seen and see what else Luna thinks.
Okay. So yeah, Luna starts looking at the sort of those discs that seem to be making it float, and doesn't really say a whole lot, but you can tell she's thinking intensely and taking it all in, and then she finds the vents, and kind of looks over her shoulder at you, and goes, right, did you go inside?
Well, we didn't exactly have the time, and no offense to Allison, but I didn't want to subject her to that on her first day on the island.
Right. Well, no time like the present. And she just
Just
kicks
goes
it again,
straight in.
full throttle, goes straight past the vents. And there's like,
Tamsin taps out a really quick message. If you don't hear from us again, we just got chopped to bits. And she's like frantically like writing her last will and testament, essentially.
yeah, and Luna gets you like going through the vent. You've got like maybe 6 inches on either side of clearance.
Oh my
god. And then so she speeds through there and then kicks the engine, full reverse to stop.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just this sudden lurching sort of stop. And she's nearly got her face pressed to the glass,
Right.
just looking at everything.
I think Tamsin would be doing the same. Once she gets over the shock, she'll be like back into science mode and really engaged.
Yeah. And she looks like a kid in a candy store too. Just going, oh, ooh, that's interesting, all that sort of thing. And after a little bit of that, she goes, right, so was there anything else on the island that you noticed? Any sort of propulsion or engine or anything?
Well, the vents were pulling water into filter, so it's possible that it was using that as a form of propulsion. Like a byproduct of the filtering was pushing the water back out and using that as thrust. But correct me if I'm wrong, Raven, we didn't actually see any thrusters per se.
You did not?
Yeah.
So she looks at everything and kind of goes, right, yeah, I don't think it'd be, it would move enough water to, I mean, it'd be like hooking up a jet ski to a cruise liner. Wouldn't really do much. More than likely, this goes in to generate power, which is why you've got lights and a teleporter and things like that. I mean, unless there's something else under here, from what I'm seeing, I don't think this island drives itself. I think it just floats.
Is it possible we could make it drive itself, though?
I mean, theoretically, yes, but
well, what I'm thinking is if it's got this ability to keep itself upright, which it clearly does, because that, if there's no tether, there's nothing to cement it to the seafloor. If we use that downward force that's keeping it upright and tilt it, even just a few degrees, we could potentially move it, or at least start moving it.
That's assuming that those things are pushing it up and not just making it float. Because we went right under them and they didn't force us down to the floor, so I think they just might be making the whole thing more buoyant somehow.
What do we see in here, by the way? I don't know if I got a description, but like once we get in past the
right. So once you're in here, you can kind of see just with air bubbles and things, you can see that water's flowing up into this and going up into what looks like what's the word I'm looking for? Like a giant pipe, like a big cylinder. And you can't make it out super great, but you can kind of look up inside of that cylinder and you can see some sort of like turbine up higher. And you can kind of tell that like the water just comes in and it moves a turbine that generates power.
Right.
And then the water gets pumped into the filtration system and then presumably goes somewhere else and the excess is just put back into the ocean.
Right, like it's just slowly drips off.
Yeah.
Well, it's clearly generating a lot of power. Is there any way we could hook that up to something to start moving it? We need some way to get this island to the cryopod section or vice versa.
Well, again, pretty much anything is theoretically possible, but might be easier to bring the section of the ship to the island. It's a lot smaller for one. It also isn't an island. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, but it's also top heavy and it's not closed. So if it tips over, it's flooding again, and potentially things will shake loose in it. I'm not saying no. I'm just listing all the variables.
Right. How big a thing can that teleporter move?
We haven't
Bad.
tested. I think I remember them saying they wanted to try and move your cryopod back with them. I don't remember. Did they actually do that, Meta?
No.
No. Okay.
No. I pitched it. But
Yeah, I was just gonna say, but I don't know how you could do that while keeping the power intact on them unless we had something set up here. It's a whole different issue, but I doubt the teleporter has that much power or is set to accept that much. It may only bring a part of the ship if we try it, and we don't know what part. But it's something we could
Right.
look into. Test the
I
limits.
think it might warrant more testing. I think that method might be a little more easy than literally asking me to move a mountain for you.
Well, it is a mountain that's, powering itself, so it's not as though it's an impossible task, but I get your meaning.
She just sort of gives you this look like, really?
And Tamsin
Talk
just gives
some-
her back this look of like, you have been here 2 days. Don't even start with me. like I have been here for 5 years. You have just gotten here. Yeah, so Tamsin she's gonna start kind of thinking to herself about things like that, things of that nature, like teleporting, otherwise, because clearly kinetic power alone is not going to move it.
Excuse me.
Shy of
Yeah.
The flotation devices and somehow distributing the weight more evenly, and even then.
Yeah, and Luna's pretty much telling you like trying to make the island into a ship with propulsion and navigation. She's like, yes, I could do this given enough time and resources, but it's like, I could also make a spaceship out of cheese, but why would I?
Well, I mean, now that you're talking about a spaceship, now we're talking.
Yeah, she's like, I could also do this other seemingly impossible thing, but there would be
I
no point to it.
that would take more work because there's no milk animals on this planet.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it'd have to be hard cheese too. So
yeah,
aged
oh yeah,
forever.
absolutely, yeah. Unless you use like soft cheese as propulsion, we're getting off topic. So you're like,
Always
dude,
comes back to cheese.
always comes back to cheese. You started this. So Tamsin will just kind of tap Luna on the shoulder, like we can go. We don't have to stay in this tube, just in case the vent closes behind us and we're trapped here forever. Weirder things have happened.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Thanks, Sam.
she'll do that, and then kind of bring out her tablet and start thinking about it.
Okay.
I'm just catching up on chat.
Yeah. Luna will pilot it back out of the vents and just sort of much more slowly, sort of casually pilot the sub around, just looking for anything else that might indicate like propulsion or
Right.
or something like that.
I think Tamsin would look as well. Yeah, like while they're out there, she now that she has time to get a better look, she would like to get a better idea of what's like powering the island and all the minutia of it.
Yeah. It's mostly more the same. There's a lot of those vents and a lot of those little discs that seem to be making the thing float.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not even going to make you roll for this. Between the two of you, you do notice some things that look a little bit off. They're not quite like the other components.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of look like they could be sensors. And you also notice some cleverly disguised as rock, almost like rudders or fins.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine the two of you probably go back and forth debating what the purpose of those is for a little while, and finally you're able to figure out that it's probably a sensor and rudder system so that it doesn't crash into something else.
Right. Now,
So-
looking at those, can I?
Yeah.
Does it seem reasonable to Townsend that those are also why there's no current around this island? Because something is disrupting that?
Kind of, yeah.
Because like anywhere you are in the ocean, there's going to be some kind of current, like some motion of the ocean.
Yeah.
And yeah, that Tamsin is concerned as to why there is such a lack.
Yeah. That probably has something to do with it. You can probably figure that out.
Okay.
But mainly they serve as a way to make sure that it doesn't crash into another landmass or something else.
Right.
So it does sort of have steering that you could potentially tap into. It just doesn't have its own propulsion. It's mostly the waves and...
So we need a wave machine. We'll drop another island next to the first island and cause a tidal wave that will ride to safety.
We could just build a water park. They always have wave machines.
Exactly.
It comes with it. I'm sure it would be in the packet.
No.
I'm sure.
You just build a big graviton particle beam generator, put it to the back of the sub, and then bounce it off the island, and it'll go wherever you want.
No. Let's build a spaceship and let's crash it near the island so it creates the wave.
Or we could just use the satellite feed we have to figure out the ocean currents and sail the ship.
Or we could cause all the satellites in the orbit to drop.
Or we could pull the moon out of orbit.
Yes. It's
Biggest
perfect.
wave.
The tidal forces alone.
I know we're all joking, but I feel like if you pushed Luna to that point, she would probably start suggesting things like that.
Yeah, probably. Realistically, if you build enough thrusters on the moon and move it into a tighter orbit, as long as it's outside the Lagrange circle, the tidal forces would increase and the waves would, I think these are things that Tamsin thinks of in the middle of the night.
Probably right.
That bridge does strange things to the brain. So she's very interested in the rudders, but she's definitely more about moving the cryopod section to the island than vice versa. She just wanted to know if it was possible.
Yeah. And Luna's nutshell answer is like, theoretically, yes, but probably would take more resources than we have or would be willing to spend on the project.
Right, okay. Can't pay her enough.
Yeah, kind of. She even throws out like, theoretically we could build giant sails on the island and just literally sail it wherever we wanted to go, but we don't have materials to build sails that big.
Well, yeah, and we don't have a sewing machine. So there's that. So Tamsin's really sassy today. I'm sorry.
Luna's sassy, but just in general.
Yeah, this is kind of Tamsin's first time since Boris to have someone that's like mechanically inclined to talk to again. So it's kind of, she's had like a month or so where she hasn't really had the shit. Well, not a month, but like it's been long enough that there's been no one else around on the same kind of level scientifically. So she's going a little stir crazy. Yeah, she'll say like, we don't have to stay down here all day. I'm happy to go back up, and then we could potentially teleport to the cryopod section and maybe just get some measurements and do some math. And Tamsin's like, she seems really excited about math specifically.
Luna also gets excited about that part too, and is trying to come up with calculations and things, and she'll go park the sub and you can teleport to the fridge and start measuring things and whatnot.
Tamsin's gonna make sure Luna has a return button.
Okay.
Because I don't think we got her one yet.
No, we did not.
2, she's gonna bring at least water, if not a little bit of food with them, just in case some horrible shit goes wrong. 3, As soon as they get there, Tamsin's gonna go 1 second and try to teleport back
Back to
the island once they go to the
Oh, yeah.
cryopod section.
Yeah, you teleport back, no problem.
Okay, so she'll come back and she's like, I just needed to prove it to myself so that I would stop worrying about it, and then if it happens later, we at least tested it now.
Perfect. Okay. Well, you are there. You're able to take measurements and things, and with that, I think we'll hop back over to the other group.
Cool.
So, is there anything that specifically that you're looking out for, or searching for, or doing while you're moving from the control room to this back room?
I can say that what I'm doing is I'm waiting for any random fucking pings to show up on that shared network in case, like, oh, surprise, we've just put ourselves in sleep mode and now you're here. Here's a shitload of us.
Okay. Yeah, as you're looking through, you don't notice anything like that. As you get closer to the back, you do start to make out sort of like the outlines that you saw before of the robots, but this one doesn't quite look right. The silhouette's off, and you don't really see it till you get closer to that room. Do you mention that as everybody's heading over there?
Oh, am I just assumed we were all seeing it. Yes.
No, just you. You're
Yes.
the only one with stuff in your head.
Oh, no, it's when you said like silhouettes, I assumed it was like an actual shadow we were walking past. Yes, I will
Oh,
point that
no.
out.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought it was like, yep, no beeps in your head, but there's an ominous looking shadow there. Do you tell anyone about it?
I totally get why you would think that. Yeah. Sorry. Just you with your heads up display thing.
Yeah, that's there's like a weird thing over here. Doesn't look like the aliens looked like, but looks like somebody like stitched. Looks like somebody that like was trying to make a fake one almost. Like it looks like a sloppy version of what they looked like.
Why would somebody want to make something like that?
Oh.
Like behind the wall? How can you see that? Because I guess you.
Because he's got nanobots.
No.
I logged into the Wi-Fi.
I miss the internet.
Do you?
Is it behind a wall?
Yeah, it's in the back corner room. Do you keep going?
I mean, if we can slide that wall, if I can open that wall, I'm gonna look inside.
Yeah. As you keep going, that room does have a door, like an opening. And before you go in, just making sure I've got the right order. So who's going in first? Who's behind?
I think I'm leading this expedition.
Okay.
Susie's got the spear ready.
Okay.
I'm bringing up the rear.
All right. So Owen, Susie, Allison, and then TC.
Yes.
All right. So that's the order in which you see this. As you go into the room, you can see one of those robot alien creature things. But this one looks like it's been not completely torn apart, but it's definitely got like pieces of it that are dangling off of it, and it's been broken quite a bit, and it's missing some pieces that are on the floor. There's also a not an insignificant amount of blood on the floor as well, it looks like.
Like what?
Shit.
My blood. Human?
Like human blood. So that's what you see, and it lifts its head up to you, and that's where we're going to end the session.
Oh!
Fuck.
Okay, I knew we will jump to Townsend, but this caught me by surprise.
Yeah. So
Damn
next week
time
we'll,
change.
Yep. Next week we'll find out who this is and why there's blood and what's going on. It'll be a lot of fun. Thank you all for playing. Thank you everybody for watching, and Michael for those donations. Much appreciated. We're gonna go on a raid here in just a minute. But before we do, I want to let everybody say what their favorite part was, where we can find them next, and anything else they'd like to share. And then if you have an idea for our raid cry, feel free to throw that in chat while we're talking. So go in reverse order, starting with Jay. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? And anything else you'd like to share or plug? You there, Jay?
Damn microphones. There we go.
There we go.
I had one mute off, but not the other. Yes, so I would say the end teaser definitely is up there, because that's fantastic. I liked seeing the group kind of working together, but almost working against themselves at the same time. It's nice to see that it wasn't just a fluke, but it's also horrifying to see that it wasn't just the one time. So I'm interested to see how they'll work together. And it was cool to see. It was cool to get Tamsin to like get to geek out essentially with someone else again. Like, yeah. That's been something that's been missing for that character. I've found is like there's no one to really talk technically with, because every time she does, it's like, oh, okay, grandma's off her pills again. Like, what is she talking about? So it's been good. Yeah, I'm excited for the potential of everything going on, and I'm also excited to see what they'll tell Tamsin when they get back.
If they get back.
If they get back. And then the cryopod will be even more important, because there'll be 4 more people in it. Yeah, so that's me. I've been Jay, or Alien Jays. You can find me on Twitter or itch.io at Alien Jays. And yeah, that's it. You can get me on Saturday for Animus Absentus. That's it.
Awesome. Econorlax, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? And anything else you'd like to share?
My favorite part was this Zan mentioning that first aid kit, because I was sure we had no first aid kit. Like, what is he talking about? So I asked, what do you mean by first aid kit? Oh, grass, fish bone, some string. Oh. I guess we have to make do with what we have, but I was literally hoping for a first aid kit for a moment. Alison definitely did.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit confused too, because I was like, did they still have a med kit from before? Like, that they just never used? Like, where did that come from? So I was right there with you.
So yeah, I'm Econorlax. You can find me here next week, same time, or on my own channel in the days between. I hope I will be able to stream at least few days in those 7 we have ahead of us till the next week.
Awesome. Next we'll hop over to Pat. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? And anything you'd like to share or plug?
Favorite part? I don't know if it's because I've got a very short-term memory right now, or if it's I very much liked the sassy science bickering duo. I'm game to just watch that show when the rest of us die and can't get our new characters yet until they figure out that problem. Yeah, and I mean I am in general, I'm just happy Owen is getting to like dig into more bullshit, even if it's not the best idea. He's wanted to do something like this for a while. Even if the place was like stripped of useful things, you know, something. Yeah, I'm Pat. I'm a Tactric on Twitch and Twitter. I play games and stuff. I believe tomorrow on my channel we are going to be playing Lancer, which we've been running into some scheduling issues with that, but I think we're going to be playing tomorrow, and then we'll kind of make some announcements about our longer term plan for that.
Awesome. That's great. All right. Zan, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? And anything else you'd like to share?
A very humorous thing. I just put a weird GIF in our chat because I was looking for a rat race scene with a bunch of I Love Lucy people screaming Owen. So that's pretty funny to me, at least. I'm still gonna have to hunt that thing down. But yeah, no, I'm Zan. I'm a professional DM and content creator for 5e World of Darkness, powered by the Apocalypse, and a whole bunch of other games out there. The next place you can find me will be Friday at 4 a.m. Central Time on Polished Cryptid's channel, and then in the same time slot on Tuesday before I'm back again. Yeah, and I think my actual favorite part that was on camera tonight was God, there's so many good moments. The cliffhanger ending is absolutely spot on, perfect. I'm so excited to go back to it. But I think the realization that we had that all the stasis rifles except for Owens had been lost. Just that beautiful moment of realization on everyone's face. Oh fuck, we don't have the guns. was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed that too. And then definitely go check out Leopold the Just on Twitter. Leland, hopefully we'll have him here next week. He's had just a whole bunch of scheduling things that have come up since the season started, unfortunately. He's been trying his best to get in here, though. So hopefully we'll see him later, but he's really cool. Go check him out. He also GMs our Friday night game, The Mouth the Beast Below, our Zweihander game. And then, Alex, are you back? I don't think they are. So I will go ahead and see what my favorite part was and all that stuff. Because Alex had to run for a second. So my favorite part is the Nat 1. And how you all reacted to that. Not because Nat 1 something bad happens, but just how you all treated that and the reactions from TC being like, damn, I'm gonna go over here and swear for a little while. And Susie's like feeling bad because she asked for somebody to help with it. And Allison just grabbing TC and getting out of there and that sort of thing. And then also just Tamsin's reaction of like, here we go again. From the bridge. The whole thing was
like
great.
Once a week with these kids.
Yeah. And then everyone being really scared of the silence, I thought was kind of funny, because it really wasn't anything dangerous. It was just you scared everything away with the explosion. But everybody getting kind of paranoid about that, I thought was kind of funny, and understandable, but also kind of funny. So I think that was my favorite part. But the whole thing was fantastic. I really enjoyed all of it. Thank you all for putting up with my terrible Irish accent. Other things to share and where you can find me next. So we might not have Exodus tomorrow night. I need to confirm a couple of things. If we do, it'll be at 6 p.m. tomorrow. So same time as Water. If we don't, then I'll be back Thursday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time for Star Wars, our Star Wars game, Elite Bebeskar, which has been a whole ton of fun. Definitely come check that out if you haven't seen any already. I think you'll quite enjoy it if you like Star Wars, especially if you're a fan of Mandalorians, because that's what most of our party is. And they're getting into pretty wild and wacky stuff. My goodness, the bots are in full force today. There we go. Aside from that, other things to share are sponsors, which just popped up into chat, which is Fundamental RPG, which is the system that this game runs on, with a few additions, as well as Intrepid, which is adventuring gear for IRL or for real life, If you like athletic or casual or outdoors wear with a tabletop theme, Intrepid is really cool stuff. You should check it out. And then if you like tabletops in general, Fundamental RPG second edition just dropped about a week ago or so. You can currently pick up the PDF version, the digital copy, at coffee.com/raven/shop. So just like it says in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, just add /shop to the end of that. And very soon, I'm hoping, it'll be available in print on Amazon. It's currently being reviewed for the third time for formatting. Amazon is not super clear about their requirements for print, so just heads up if you're thinking about doing that. Don't be surprised if it takes a little bit. Once it's approved, it's fantastic. It's super easy, but getting it in there is difficult. So we're waiting on that. But as soon as that's approved, it should be any day now, like possibly even tomorrow. The print version will be available on Amazon. Yeah, you can run literally anything that you would like on that. It's not set in any genre, so you can do something cool like in sci-fi, like water or animus, all the way down to high fantasy and everything in between. So it's really cool stuff. Highly recommend it. All that out of the way, we're going to go on a raid. Unless Alex is back. Alex did leave the message that that they loved everything tonight, so definitely give them a follow. No worries. Definitely give them a follow at Canned Chaos Art. They make really cool stuff. All right, so we're gonna go on a raid. Let me just make sure that they are still live, real quick. We're gonna go raid Ray, or With a Brick, with 2 Ks. Very cool person and just great streamer. Definitely give them a follow if you're not doing so already. And then I will see you all, if not tomorrow, then on Thursday. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.